those of you who really love what we tell you on Backyard Farmer and you have questions about hydrangeas, you may wonder why I come back and say, we have to know what kind of a hydrangea this is if we are going to give you the good information about how to prune them. So let's just show you why we need to know what kind of a hydrangea it is. We talk about 5 different types that are in some form semi-hardy, which is sort of funny anyway, here in Nebraska. So Oakleaf Hydrangea is a 100% woody plant. You can see the last year's flowers on it. You can see the new flower buds on it. The only reason you have to do any pruning at all in an Oakleaf Hydrangea is if you get great big canes that are sort of old or crossing. If they start to be a little bit unthrifty, if you don't like the height, you can take them down, but you don't prune these much, if at all, especially if you think you're going to take off the flower buds. That's a big deal on hydrangeas. We need to know which one because we know when those flower buds are set. The second type that's very popular is the ones that people usually buy with the names Limelight, Bobo, those sorts of hydrangeas. Those are Panical Hydrangeas. Those are also a 100% woody shrub. So they are not something that you have to prune if you don't want to. If you get the little dwarf ones like Bobo, they're going to stay down here. They're going to get a little cross. They're going to get way too many branches. They're not going to have very good airflow. They may not bloom as well if you don't do a little bit of pruning on them. You can prune them lightly when they're young and little. You can prune them within an inch of their hydrangea life if you really need to take them back. They are a woody shrub and they flower on current year's wood, which means you can prune them if you have forgotten, even as late as now after they start leafing out. And again, you can prune them down to sticks if you need to. The third type we talk about and look at are the ones that are the big leaf hydrangeas, the macrophyllus. These are the pink and blue ones. And unfortunately in Nebraska, even with the good breeding that has given us such hydrangeas as Endless Summer, they bloom on both old wood and new wood, but the plant itself, the genetics of the plant, are such that it is the older stems that bloom better. Those are the ones that really don't want to live through our winter. So what you end up with is basically nothing until you see those stems green up. So you can wait as long as possible to see if some of the old short canes are going to actually leaf out. Leave those there. You may get a flower bud on those. Chances are instead, however, you're going to have to bring them from the base. Fourth type is the climbing hydrangea. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, 100% top hardy. The only thing you would do to prune on that one is you kind of direct it the direction you want it to go. Not much to it, and they will cling with adventitious roots to whatever they're climbing up. And finally, we have the fifth type, which is the one, the old-fashioned one is Annabelle. Incredibelle, the great big flower heads on it. That is smooth hydrangea. It is essentially sort of a suffrutescent shrub. It won't branch, it can get really tall and leggy. That one blooms again on new wood, so you prune that one back to buds that are going in the right direction. You lower the height on that one. You prune that one so that it can flower in the summer. So if you don't know, you will have pruned the flower buds off. You will be saving wood that actually is never going to produce a flower. In the case of the big leaf hydrangeas, you will not prune enough on the ones like the panicles that have great big flower heads. So you've got to tell us what you've got.